Here is a interesting and amazing discussion of the solar payment policy on how we can shift our economy from oil to solar simply by requiring the utilities to pay homeowners 49 cents a kilowatt hour for harvesting solar energy and feeding it onto the grid. Now, this video was made in 2010, so it's a bit outdated, but listen to the explanation he has, because it's very important, and I wish a woman would do this explanation, because I think she would have a better sense on this and do it more creatively. Listen.
Buildings of all different sizes, from the small to the very large. Over the past several years, a growing number of nations and states, including New York, have implemented incentive programs for PV and other clean energy technologies. These incentives have taken on many different forms, including grants, tax credits, and tradable renewable energy certificates, or RECs. But the incentive model that has resulted in the most extensive solar adoption, cost declines, and job growth is what is known as the feed-in tariff,
which is also known as a solar payment policy, which makes more sense.
Advocating for in 2009. And here's how it works. A feed-in tariff permits owners of clean energy technologies, such as PV, wind, biomass generators, and other sources, to feed in or sell some or all of the power that they produce to the electricity grid. The local utility is required to purchase this power from these producers in contracts lasting up to 15 to 20 years. A tariff is the rate of...
That is the most important part of this video. He says that the utilities are required to purchase the solar and wind power from the co-ops and homeowners who are generating this. This allows a state like New York or California to follow the successful model set up by Germany. Germany has had the most successful solar payment policy in the world. That's why the German economy is the richest in Europe. That's why German air and water is cleaner than anywhere else in the world. So this discussion of the generation of clean power is very important in order to shift our economy and shut down oil, shut down the KXL pipeline, make it unnecessary, shut down Diablo Canyon.
Currently, the country has about 4 times more PV installed within its borders than the United States, in spite of having less sunlight and less than a third of the population. In 2008, driven by its own feed-in tariff, Spain installed more PV than any other country, and 7 times more than the United States. But the feed-in tariff is no longer only found in Europe. It is now beginning to take hold in North America. In 2009, Ontario, Canada will implement a new feed-in tariff, much like Germany's. The city of Gainesville, Florida, has become the first in the United States to adopt such a policy for PV. California is considering expanding the limited policy that...
Ontario, Canada started out with 80 cents a kilowatt hour was required. The utilities were required to pay homeowners in Ontario, and now it's down to about 40 cents. And he explains that in here, how it's a gradual falling off of the price support paid by the tenants and those who use the energy, but who do not have solar. The significant thing is this is crowdsourcing. And the main thing is, in Germany now, it's created 450,000 jobs to be updated to now in 2015.
Investing in photovoltaics in Germany is about 20% less than it is in the United States. And that's critical, because making solar permanently cheaper and competitive should be the underlying goal of any incentive program, including the Empire State Solar Initiative. What does a feed-in tariff cost to implement, and who pays for it? The premium that utilities must pay for renewable electricity is ultimately passed on to and spread among all electricity ratepayers in a given area, and is reflected in their monthly electricity bills. What's the average impact? In 2008, Germany's national feed-in tariff increased household bills by an average of only €3 per month. Closer to home, the city of Gainesville's new feed-in tariff for PV will only add an estimated 93 cents to the average monthly bill in 2009. A key feature of the feed-in tariff that relates to cost, and therefore to what ratepayers will ultimately pay in the long term, is that the model is not intended to be a permanent incentive that continues indefinitely.
The most important part of the solar payment policy is that it creates jobs here in the United States that cannot be offshored. The installation of solar panels on homes, right now our goal is to install it on 10% of the homes in the United States. That way, the jobs cannot be offshored, because we buy solar panels from Germany or Japan or China or wherever we can get the best deal, and then we build solar-powered houses or install solar panels on houses, and where the homeowner actually owns the panel. This is not something where some installing company is taking the lion's share of the income from the solar. Instead, the homeowner is getting the lion's share, and the utility is paying it. We don't want a solar city to get this money. We want the homeowners to get it, because this creates more jobs, creates more wealth, and most of all, it creates more democracy in this country, where we have more money going to the homeowners. Thank you.